Hey, everybody. Hope you're doing well. It's good to see you again. It's been a while since I've made a YouTube video, but wanted to come out and make one because I've had so many people calling me during this crazy time, this new time that nobody saw coming. And it's been a pandemic that's really caused a lot of worry for people. So, as I talk to people, whether it's on the phone or Zoom, or I'm even starting to meet with people again in person at restaurants, it's been just so hard for people. It's been a scary time. People are worried about their health. What if I catch this virus? What could happen to me? People are dying from it. People are worried about losing their jobs, or maybe their income being cut in half. And then, of course, that stresses us out with our personal finances. How are we going to pay the bill? So a lot of people worried, a lot of people overwhelmed by what's happening. But the question I have for people is, well, where do you go for comfort in times of uncertainty? In times like this, when you're just not sure what the future holds, where do you go? I always go to the Bible, and in the Bible, in 2 Timothy 1:7, you'll find that book in the New Testament of the Bible. It says, "For the Spirit of God gave us does not make us timid." It does not make us timid, but gives us power, love, and self-discipline. I love that. Gives us power and love and self-discipline. That's the area where a lot of us struggle. Self-discipline, sometimes also known as self-control. So I want to talk a little bit about this. So what do we know? We know that God gives us power, love, and self-discipline to deal with all of the worry and uncertainty around us. That is what God's saying. You don't need to worry about everything that's happening around. You don't have to worry about what's going on in government and all over the place. Yes, you should be informed and you should keep it, but don't worry about it, because we have the power and the self-discipline, and more importantly, the love to be able to handle all this stuff around us. There's no need to be timid. No need to be timid, he says. Be confident that you will be good through this time and until it all ends. I mean, this will eventually end. History repeats itself. It goes through cycles of these kinds of stuff. This is not the first pandemic our country or our world has seen. This continues to happen, and people survive and make it, and we grow and we get better. So yes, you don't need to be timid. You need to be confident in God's power and love and self-discipline that you're going to make it through this. So many of us spend so much time worrying about things we can't control, that are out of our control. And we have a fear of the unknown. What's crazy is the majority of things that we worry about never even happen. I mean, that's what fear stands for: false evidence appearing real. So many things we worry about, spend days and hours thinking about, never even happen. So let it go. Harvey Mackay is the author of the best-selling book, Swim with the Sharks Without Being Eaten. And he wrote this quote, I love it: "Worry is the most unproductive of all human activities." He said, "A day of worry is more exhausting than a day of work." Unbelievable. People get so busy worrying about yesterday or about tomorrow that they forget about today. And today is what we have to work on. Let's spend our time on today. Don't worry about what happened yesterday or what's going to happen tomorrow. Let's spend our time. What a great quote by Harvey Mackay. All this uncertainty reminds me of something we have all heard of. You've all heard of this, the freshman 15. Remember this? Remember, this is when college kids go to school for their first year, their freshman year. It's a new environment. It's unknown. And there's a lot of uncertainties, a lot of things that they're not familiar with. And so it's uncomfortable and high pressure. And so the freshmen resort to going to things that make them comfortable. Like what? Like eating more. They eat more. Maybe some start drinking, and that puts on a little weight. And they drink to try to fit in. They drink to try to deal with all the pressure. And in the end, they end up gaining 15 pounds. It's called the freshman 15. It's a fact of life. A lot of people know of it. So today we're facing a new unknown, the COVID-19. You've heard of the freshman 15. Well, the COVID-19 is very similar. It brings many reasons to feel uncomfortable. It brings uncertainty. As I said before, we're spending the majority of our time worrying about losing our jobs or getting sick or even dying. And some of us even worry about the little things we've never even thought about, like going to the grocery store. We're worried about going to the grocery store. So once again, we resort back to things that bring us false comfort. Ice cream, junk food, alcohol sales, all these things are up now. All of them are up. People are just out of control to try to deal with all the stress in their life. People are even spending money on things they really don't need, like swimming pools and hot tubs. How do I know this? I recently tried to buy a hot tub. I don't know if you know this, but if you go today to buy a hot tub, they're 6 months to a year back ordered. It's almost impossible to get a hot tub within the next few weeks. And so why are we doing this? We are stressed out. We don't know how to deal with it. But again, go back to 2 Timothy where it says God gave us the power and the love and the self-discipline to deal with this. Here's a couple things you can do. 1, spend your time on 95% of the things you know, the things that have worked for you. Spend your time on that versus spending time on the 5% of the things you can't control, that you don't know, and you can never know. You don't know how they'll work out. Don't spend a majority of your time on the 5%. Spend it on the 95% things you know. We can control things around us, but you can control your mind and thoughts. You can control your mind and thoughts, but you can't control the things around you. So spend your time and your thoughts in prayer. That's a good place to spend time. And think of the positives and the things that are working in your life. And eventually ultimately, those things will affect your life. Power, love, and self-discipline. All right, guys, I appreciate you. We'll talk to you next time.